Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the CSTL. This is game 2 between... I don't want to say it. Narwhal, you want to introduce our lovely contestants?
Between Tanner and Dhal, we've got Tanner, who is in the southern corner, on the left side. I guess you can say south-left. That doesn't make sense, but he's our red Zerg player, and for... I can't even talk. Professional Photon Cyclists. So, there we go. I'm going to hand it over to you. You can do the next one.
I'm sorry. Just breaking news. Looks like there had to be a pause in the game because Dhal had to pee-pee in his Australian prison toilet. So that's perfectly fine. Good for him.
There's a can in the corner of his room.
Yeah, it's really easy. You just have to say pause. You go over there. And actually, it's really nice because you can actually watch and make sure that Tanner does not unpause the game while you pee. And just for the record, that implies that Dhal does indeed pee while sitting down. And so we have Dhal, our green Protoss, in the top position here on Cloud Kingdom LE.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the strangest of all toilets I've seen. If you go to Holland, they've got them in the middle of just the street. Like, there's a walkway in the city, and there's just these weird little urinal things where guys in just business suits will just walk up to them and just use the bathroom in the middle of the city. And I was like, what are they doing? And my friend's like, oh, they're peeing. And it was pretty interesting.
I did not know that. That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty weirded out by that, actually.
So where do girls go pee in Holland then? Since, again...
They don't know. They have to go find toilets somewhere. But men can just pee in the middle of the street, and it's not a big deal.
Ah, okay. Looks like 14 gas pool going down for Tanner. Standard speed leading span. Dhal, on the other hand, let's see if he decides to go... he's going to go Nexus first on 15.
Yeah, he's Nexus before Forge even. So.
Yeah. Pretty safe play. You really only need to go Forge first if you suspect your opponent's going early pool for those lings. But 14 gas pool is defendable with a 15 Nexus, so he should be pretty safe right now.
Okay.
So,
no,
yeah. So
it's really hard for me to tell when you go Forge first, when you go Nexus, when you build the cannon, like the order between all that. I'm still learning, so...
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I only play Protoss and team games, which means I kind of sit around, macro like a boss, and then run them over regardless of what I do. Because all my units are good, no matter what. So it looks like Dhal's going to be going here, getting his gateway, one cannon down, so now he's safe from early aggression. Opening links coming down from Tanner, along with a drone, but there's no block there, so he's safe to throw down that hatch immediately. So it looks like Tanner's going to be getting early speed. No guys in gas, so he's going to be hunting for that third base relatively quickly.
Yeah, and he's going to send out some links past the shark that's just floating around in the middle of the field. I mean, for no reason, but...
Yeah, this is actually a trademark of the Team SC, or ESV map makers, the guys that made Cloud Kingdom and Core Hall. They have a flying shark in every one of their maps. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and actually, did you know that they removed the sharks from the latter versions of Cloud Kingdom and Core Hall?
Oh.
Yeah.
That is...
It is sad. There was actually a little bit of annoyance, but those were like people from the community that don't know any better, so they're like, oh, they took out their trademark from the map, they're jackasses. And then Prodigy had to like post saying, yeah, that's fine. At least we got our maps in the ladder pool. So
right, yeah.
People be whiny no matter what.
It's true. All right, so Tanner's gonna put down a third base down here.
Very expected. You got to be able to do that to keep up with the Forge Fast Expand if you're not intending to all in. Dhal's gonna spot that.
Yep, the probe's gonna, just see it and then die. But, at least he's got that information, so...
Yeah, but there's actually a second probe down here. It's going to be able to play a little bit of shenanigans when the time is right. And so, in the situation where a Protoss Forge Fast expands, the ball's in his court, right? The opening for the Protoss, however they decide to punish Zerg, because Zerg's just going to want to drone at this point because they feel economically pressured, is going to dictate whether or not, the Protoss wins, essentially. So Dhal has a few options. Right now he's chronoing out +1, so he'll probably be sending out some Zealots to try to take out that third. One variation is throwing down a Stargate to do kind of a Void Ray Zealot pseudo all-in, or he could just simply pressure with Zealots with +1.
And he's going to take out this Overlord that was in his base, and that's going to supply block Tanner for a little bit. So, I don't know. I think Dahl's kind of sitting comfortably a little bit here.
Yep. Looks like 2 more gates going down for Dahl.
And a Twilight Council is going to go over there.
Yeah.
He was thinking about where the best location for the Twilight Council would be. You know, he's got his property to think of, property value, and so forth.
No, it's very reasonable. So actually, I'm guessing Dahl really does like doing Blink Stalker play. On this map, I don't know his thoughts are. Generally speaking, that third feels really hard to defend as Protoss because it's far away from your natural. You can get countered, or you can get poked in 2 places pretty easily. And so he might be compelled to do an all-in here, I'm not sure.
He's got 2 proxy pylons coming down to the south.
Yep.
Fairly close to each other. So.
Yeah, they are kind of within sight range of each other. That is kind of a weird choice. But this is similar to what he did on in Game 1 on Daybreak, right? He proxied up basically the south side of the map by the 3rd, and then he put heavy pressure on. He actually 7-gate all in there.
And Overlord's going to come down, and he's going to see all that going on. But let's see what he's got going up on in his base. He's starting to move out. No, he's going to change his mind. Yep,
going to take out that Overlord first. That'd be kind of silly. So it looks like he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates. And so a 5-gate Blink Stalker is a pressure build. It's not an all-in. When you add 1 more gate, all of a sudden it becomes an all-in. So he's just going to be hunting for his 3rd here, and you can see that the probe is actually going to lay it down right now. And so this situation is always a little awkward. It's just enough pressure. Okay, assuming that those pylons hadn't gone down. So actually this totally stops the pressure, which is great. So Dahl is going to have to dance for a bit with his stuff. He's actually a little lost as to what to do. So Dahl is kind of forced to retreat. He needed those proxy pylons to be able to kind of lay on the pressure there. But it would have just been pressure. There's no way he would be able to kill Tanner with that, unless Tanner decided to drone at a really bad time. So let's see what Tanner's doing. Got double Evo. Speed on the way for Roaches. And also Burrow, too, which is the safe play against kind of, I don't know if it's a 6-gate or 7-gate Blink Stalker. And so Burrow is a good way to make sure that we stay safe against that.
So I have a quick question for you.
Indeed. What's that?
About what's going on here. I mean, in both of these games, we've seen Tanner's kind of going with Slings and Roaches. And then up here, Dahl has kind of got his gateway units. He's got his Sentries and his Stalkers and his Zealots. I mean, is there any reason why they're not teching up to anything slightly more advanced in these games? Like, they're just kind of sticking with it. Seems like, to me, just the basic units.
Well, Narwhal, on the Zerg side, all our units are pretty shitty, so it doesn't really matter. We might as well stick at Tier 1 till we get Broodlords out. And in fact, that's actually kind of the style that Tanner's going for here. He's going to do some Ling Roach pressure. Let's just kind of watch this for a second. This is actually very heavy pressure here, designed to take out this 3rd. Takes out the 2 cannons, and uh-oh, Dahl knows he's kind of effed.
Yeah, and he had Stalkers in the back there that were just kind of trying to do some damage. They just weren't really getting any hits off. So.
Yeah. And so this is actually a really sticky spot for Dahl here. Very good force field, zoning out those Roaches. What he needs is that cannon go down desperately so he can get vision and stop this aggression. So this is actually really intense here. Looks like Tanner's just going to go try to take out the army before the cannon goes down. Once the cannon goes down, Burrow is nullified, and he'll be able to warp this off. Cannon's going down.
He's got 2 more warp gates that have just finished, and he's going to be able to warp in a lot of different units in here. And, there's the cannon. It's going to go down.
Yeah, it goes down again. This is going to give Tanner a little more reprieve, but it looks like he probably lost his critical mass of Roaches. He won't be able to do Burrow shenanigans and just kind of will down Dahl's army. We have extra Roaches coming in from the south. Tanner's 3rd is up and operational, but he's just pumping units at this point. He wants this 3rd down to be able to get that lead here. And if you look to the south, we got 2 DTs coming in. A little sneaky action.
Indeed.
And I'm not sure if Tanner saw that, but he's actually backing off with his Roach Ling army. Probably because... Actually, I don't know why he backed off. I'm not sure if he saw these DTs, but they're going to come in. Overseer on the top, so he'll be able to spot the DTs coming in. But at the same time, you're at least going to be able to get a queen kill?
No. Oh, the queen is safely away, and he's going to get at least... I think he got a drone in there, but...
Yeah. So definitely not cost effective at all, but it did have the effect
But-
of moving Tanner's army back and letting Dahl be able to reestablish that third. So,
Right.
so who do you think's ahead right now?
Well, alright, I'm looking at the food counts. I mean, Zerg is ahead on food, but that doesn't necessarily... It just means that... I've been told that in order for Zerg to stay even, they have to stay ahead when they're still building up an army. Like, they have to have more units physically in order to remain even. I mean, we've got a pretty big Stalker army. It's got a +2 attack. He's working on +3 attack right now.
Yeah, and Tanner's army, on the other hand, is actually at 0-0. He did drop 2 Evo chambers very early, but I think he may have forgotten to actually produce from them, which is going to be a big mistake here. It looks like Tanner's going to be pushing straight up into the gut here. Sentry's trying to get in to be able to force field out this army. They're not going to be able to stop him in time. So Tanner's repelled, but kind of forces the army to dance around a little bit, making Dhal a little uneasy. Also giving him time to be able to get his 4th up, too, which is really important.
Yep.
And kind of a note here I want to point out, a nice thing that Tanner's doing, rather than relying on spore crawlers for his DT detection, he actually has an Overseer morphed in each base.
He does.
Which is a very smart thing to do. Looks like Tanner's going to be crushing the 3rd now.
What's the cost in terms of like an Overseer versus spore?
Sorry, say that again?
Like, what's the difference, like, in cost between an Overseer and a Spore Crawler?
Well, an Overseer costs like 75 gas, I believe. You check by clicking on Overlord and looking at the morph count. It's actually 50. So that's actually pretty substantial. You don't want to just morph like 50 Overseers.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, the real problem is that if you send, like, a Spore is really good against, like, 2 DTs, because you can use your Queens and your drones to be able to zone out the DTs, but when you, like, decide to blitz a base with, like, 4 or 5 DTs, and you have 1 Spore, then all of a sudden your base is compromised. And the Overseer just completely nullifies that, because DTs can't, they just kind of, like, wave their arms in the air. Can't hit that Overseer. Looks like Tanner's going to be saturating his 4th here, trying to stay 1 base ahead of the Protoss. Dhal, on the other hand, is going to be getting his own 4th. Pretty fearsome Stalker Immortal Sentry army with some DTs thrown in for good measure here.
Yeah, and he's got the 3-0 upgrades on these guys.
Pretty big upgrade advantage for Dhal, and this is actually going to pay off for him.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, he's got 4 DTs, and they're headed right down. They're headed right down towards the brand new expansion that Tanner's trying to set up, and he does not have an Overseer there yet.
Yep, forces the cancel. That's pretty huge there. And the unfortunate part is that...
Canceled it even before it hit. He just saw them coming.
Yeah, saw it with that Overseer right over there in the right. Very well placed. But Tanner's in kind of a sticky situation right now. His expansion pattern was actually towards his opponent. But the problem is that his army is really geared towards kind of counterattacking. Oh no. Roach is coming in at 2 angles, but force field zoning off. It looks like this is going to be the major engagement of this game.
No, and he's force fields on one side, both sides.
Yeah, it looks like...
keep them at bay.
And the problem is Tanner's army is actually a little bit distracted shooting at things that are not Dahl's army. And that leaves Dhal with roughly his entire army. And Tanner forced to remax.
He clears it up all on one side while he's trying to go for the expo, and he just cleans it up.
Yeah, that was not a good engagement for Tanner, I'd say. Looks like he's remaxing on Hydra Infestor. And so it looks like he's going to have a well-rounded mix of Hydra Roach Infestor. A pretty decent composition. Looks like Tanner's attempt at another base is thwarted by the 4 DTs. Probably the heroes of this game right now, denying those extra expansions. So let's see what we got going on here. Looks like it's a predominantly Hydra army, which is a good choice given that he hasn't seen Colossus on the field yet. Unfortunately, that Robo Bay is down for Dhal. Probably fresh given that it hasn't researched extended thermal lance.
Right. You mean the, robotic pickup.
Yes, yes, sorry about that. Looks like another engagement in the middle here. Good force fields from Dhal, but unfortunately Hydras have pretty good range. And so they're able to push back Dahl's army. Now, ooh, here's a good chance for a force field, but nope.
You know, Immortals just got a range upgrade, didn't they? Or range is extended for them now?
Yeah, they did.
6,
The problem is they're not that good against Hydras, believe it or not. Hydras shoot fast, and they're not armored, so they don't have that damage bonus.
He's going to pull back to his cannons, he's going to warp in some more units, and he has the 3-1 upgrade versus it's 2-1, I believe, or well 1-2.
Yeah.
And he cleans that up right away.
He does. That was actually pretty decisive for Dhal. Dhal has a clear advantage. Ahead in the food count, 4th base up.
Gonna blink forward. He's gonna start clearing up these overseers.
Yes. I think you're actually behind on me on the replay by quite a bit.
Oh, I do.
That's okay, though. We'll just wing it anyways.
Alright, cool.
So we're about the 21:30 mark here right now. Dhal has triple robo.
Wow. I'm like,
Ooh.
what? How are you at 21 in 30 seconds?
Because I'm awesome.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm like 20 seconds behind you.
That's
I
fine.
Don't know how.
Don't worry about it. Triple robo coming out for Dhal. He's going to be pumping out 3 Colossi at a time. 4th one coming out. And that's all he'll be able to produce because he's actually maxed right now. And so, very, very bad position for Tanner. He's got Hive Tech up. At some point he lost his looks like he's going to go Ultralisk, which is always kind of a weird decision. Not sure why he's choosing to do that over a Spire. Probably because he hasn't seen Colossi yet, but now he knows there are indeed Colossi there, and there's the GG.
Yeah.
And so Dhal takes game 2, so now we're 1-1.
Alright.
So, pretty good game from Tanner. His attempts to deny the 3rd were largely thwarted, and that's what cost him the game. Even though Dhal's opening, his Zealot push was just completely nullified. The good thing was it was nullified before he was able to commit the forces, so he was able to safely set up the expansion, and then everything kind of worked out from there with a very sick hold from Dhal.
Right.
Yeah, so any other thoughts, Narwhal?
Yeah, you just kept going around denying all the expansions of Tanner. Tanner just couldn't defend him, even though he could see the DTs. He just didn't have any units there or anything that could stop them, and so too many bases just couldn't get up and running, and I think that really hurt him in the long run.
Yep, and that's right. I think the denial of the bases was the nail in the coffin. So we'll go ahead and jump into Game 3 in a second. See you guys then.